Why isn't my charger working? So, take the truck here for a little spin and see if I can empty out the bed. Theoretically, it doesn't leak, but yeah, it's full of water. So the key is to go very slow, so the water stays in the bed until I hit the street, at which point I don't give a shit. Well, we got some in the street, some in the puddle, some in the driveway. I couldn't do it. I could not let the clutch out so slow to move the vehicle, so slow to keep the water from coming out. So looks like a majority of the water ended up right here. But it's gonna be really hot today and tomorrow, so she'll dry out. So my goal is to get the van back in the garage because it's almost empty, ready to go again. So that's good. I don't know why the heck I make appointments since it's now 13 minutes after our appointment, and I had to turn the car on the air conditioner because the dogs are dying out here. Okay, I gotta admit that caught my attention. I like it. Okay, I give up. I assume that's for the restaurant. I don't know what it is. Looks like it's a rain catcher. They've been working on this for weeks. Maybe the steakhouse? I don't know. Very odd. So for the past 6 years, I've had this whole house vacuum installed in the garage. One pipe goes to there. Obviously I haven't connected anything. And then the other pipe goes over to there, and I use it for cleaning the cars out. And I was thinking a couple weeks ago, I should clean that out because I've never emptied this. So yeah, I can't describe the odor. Gotta find a bag for this. So that's one of the trees he wants to cut down, and those trees. Not the one back there that big branch fell off of, but that one, which looks fine to me. Bastards. So I think it was last fall I took this for a spin and realized it was leaking gas. Now, it only leaks gas when it was on because of the way the drain works. So I located the hose because I could tell by the drippage, because the drippage came right down to here where the connections are. So I figured the hose goes up and I just need to replace on the hose. So took off the side covers, the seat. Then I didn't realize the tank, you know, it looks like it's here, but it goes all the way down to here. So it's a big tank. It is plastic, even though this part up here is all metal. Anywho, yeah, so then I drained it, which, you know, spill half, get half in the can. That's a win. You can't always get in the can. You usually don't get any in there. So that was good. Tried the stupid pump. Don't know why. Always buy this piece of shit Arbor Freight one. Works barely. And then the fucking pieces come off while you're pumping it. And you're like, that's cool. I just spilled gas all over myself. So anyhow, I then just dumped this stupid pipe in there, just sucked on it and drained the rest because that was good. Then I cut off the end, and the first one was the return because this is a fuel injected, and the second one was the actual drippage. So tried to funnel it in there. You can kind of see I got some not in there. So anyhow, then I took the rest of the hose off. Of course, the original connectors were on there from the factory. So it's a 25-year-old hose, but it all connects down there. There's some sort of vacuum thing, which I think actually goes down here and then goes to this thing. And, we may just delete on that vacuum thing. I'm not sure if I need that canister. Just kind of... yeah, anyhow. So, yeah, grab the hoses, clean up the hands, grab the car keys, because I don't know where my car keys are. So, car key. Then, yeah, put in a bag, off to the store we go. And guess what? The auto parts store is out of gas line hose. I went back there with him. Like, the whole shelf is empty. So, because it's almost 9 o'clock, we got back in the car and came home. So, yeah, so tomorrow, I guess I'll go to Napa and Manaway, I hate the one in Garrettsville. Will not go to it. They're a bunch of idiots. I've never successfully walked in there and bought anything I needed. They didn't have nuts and bolts. They only had American ones the last time I went. So we're just gonna let this sit. Chance of rate is very low, but I'm taking a comp day from my November RSNA. So I only have 2 days left, and it's 8 months later. So yeah. Oh, Operation Drain Bed didn't work because it rained again last night. Okay, so I did a little research on the parts. This is a fuel injected system, which means it's high pressure. So regular hose, like I would have gotten at Advanced Auto or Napa, isn't really the right hose. So I ordered from Amazon 10-foot section. It turns out that hose actually, I think, is shared with this car. It's definitely shared with the older BMW, which ironically is the same year as this, 97. So yeah, that should be here tomorrow. Then we can meantime, it's supposed to rain tonight, so maybe this will get a little clean. I'm gonna clean on the parts that are exposed later today, because it's supposed to be in the 90s. Way too hot. The water level's below the bathtub there, bathtub being the white line. That's pollen, actually, that keeps falling into there, and then the water raises, lowers the pollen line, I guess. So the goal today, because I'm doing a comp day today, is to fill the plugs where the screws were on in the second to last row. I'm going to use polyurethane glue, because not only do I need to put them in with something waterproof, but I kind of also need to fill around the gaps a little bit. The plugs, I don't know what size they sent, if they're metric, Whitworth maybe, I don't know. But I went back and forth to Woodcraft and other places. I could not find a hole maker that's the same size as the hole plug. So there's a little bit of gap there. So anyhow, the glue takes about 30 minutes. Ironically, it cures better in high humidity. We can enhance on the humidity, because it's still wet over there and it hasn't rained in over a day. Then we just, with the saw, use a special saw that has no kerf, meaning the teeth are parallel, so the saw will rub on the wood and the teeth won't gouge the wood. Meanwhile, I'm gonna sand on the outside, see how that goes. Hand's not looking forward to this. My arm does hurt from the COVID booster I got yesterday. So we got a new Festool, got some 80 grits. Wish I had screened ones. They look like screen door, but they last longer and they create less dust, because the holes the vacuum can suck the dust in better. So I'm gonna run a cord from here. I'm not gonna open up the window because they got the house cool. It's now, I got it down to like 70 yesterday, but last night it ran a long time. So yeah, that's our goal today, and not to die from the heat stroke. They said drink plenty of water, so I think liquids was actually the word they used. I guess we got Gatorade, gin, vodka, clear liquids. Okay, so the outer boards looked like that. So I got this one almost done, and I got the plugs in. I forgot about the plugs in that. This glue expands, so I gotta push the plugs down every once in a while. So I'm gonna be doing that. I found a splinter area here that I need to put some glue on and tape down. I don't want to save on that. So I'm gonna probably sand to about here. Then this needs 24 hours. I finally found the bottle with a gallon of Robi Oil, and read the instructions. It says 24 hours before rain. It's supposed to rain at 3 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm gonna get this one done, and then I'm gonna seal that and see how that one goes, and then maybe continue on and just get the perimeter done. There's no way I can get the whole thing done. I did grab some of the pencil marks, so at least they're gone. So yeah, it is hot out here. Yep, I'm gonna push it back down. Crunch. That one doesn't want to stay. Get down there. This one stay. Stay. Well, you did. That one's staying. It worked glue. She's miserable. Let's try and clean up. This is like a spray insulation, which I think is also polyurethane. You just wear it out. It's not that important as long as these are seated. This one doesn't want to come up stay there either. All right. Great. So we're gonna deal with that splinter now. Got my 3-way clamp. Joy got glue on the phone. So I put glue in there. Use this handy dandy metal clip that I find on the floor all the time and step on. I don't know what they're for. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape on her. Just to, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do because I don't know if this clamp's gonna work because really it's diagonal. So I'm gonna give that a go. Let's not put more glue in the phone. Well, I cleaned it with mineral spirits. I didn't expect the plugs to pop out so much. I'm gonna have to sand on that some more. Basically, they're lower, and such the sander doesn't get in there, and they've oxidized differently. And the grain's going the wrong way. I have the grain going the right way, I think, later on. Okay, so the process is sand with 60 grit, then a 120 grit, paying close attention to here. That's really in there. I can't get that mark out. Then come along with mineral spirits and pour it on, wipe off the sawdust, and fold the rag over each time, and then come back with the last pass on this one. So as soon as I get this one clean, then we're gonna start oiling over there. It's a brush coat. I gotta make sure not to drop it on there. I did a little bit, so I had to take some paint thinner and go down there. Paint thinner is mineral spirits. Mineral spirits is like completely evaporative, so it doesn't leave a film. So yeah, it is wicked hot out here. I have no idea. It's almost noon. I can tell because that thing up in the sky is almost directly ahead. So I need to get inside. Well, it's 95 degrees out, but I got the perimeter done, which is enough to start on the railing this weekend. I may have to go to Pennsylvania, visit a friend in the hospital, but yeah, I kind of like the way it brought out the grain. It was darker. Not quite sure. Not happy with the plugs. I wish I had a big polyurethane because it really stands out, but yeah, it is what it is. And frankly, the railing's going to be on there, so it's going to look really nice. That one board just pops as expected. I'm going to let these cure in the 95 degree heat, and maybe tonight, if it's not 1,000 degrees, we'll go ahead and trim those and lightly sand them. But yeah, I'm happy. I got done what I needed. And tomorrow night the hose comes for that, I think. I don't know. We'll go play in the basement. Tell you what, if I didn't have air conditioning today, I would have gone to work. Yes, I could use help installing those posts, this stainless steel cable, these ends, this crimper, and those are the nuts and bolts for this railing system on the deck. While I was outside cutting the grass, the power went out. So we've got the old plug the generator in and do half the circuits. I got to get another generator, do 220. So the burial's up, so that's good. So half my appliances in the building are up. The big question is whether or not the refrigerator is up. If not, I'm probably going to have to plug it in the other side. And she's not up. But the stereo's on. We can turn that off. Yeah. Crap. Okay. I don't have all my things on the circuit I want. I just have them wherever they were wired. But I'll get alerts when the power comes back on. When are my computers back on? I hear the UPS beeping, so that's probably a no. I have to plug that in the other side and take a shower. It's still like 91 degrees out there. Kitten's got some food. Oh yeah. Kitten's going to town. Kitten like the food. Maybe Kitten be my friend now. Yeah. You get your kitten, Georgia? Get your kitten? So there's the problem. We were trying to figure it out. These, you can actually hear crackling. They're pretty high voltage. Yeah, the feed here is up there. He said it was 6,900 volts. It's a lot of voltage. But yeah, hopefully they'll figure it out soon. Website said 10 o'clock. That's a fairly big power substation, so it feeds lots of circuits that way. Looks like 3 phases. What? What the heck? This isn't like you. Well, that was a long evening. I got the hoses on here, deleted the fuel canister that used to be right here that was only in the US. Changed the oil in Sophia's car and the filter. Went and bought special antifreeze for Asian cars, pink stuff, because their inverter coolant was low and I topped off her radiator. So Sophia's almost got 195. 200,000 miles on it, well in 1,000 miles. So really should change the fluid, but I don't have time for that. And so she's ready to go. This car came back. It was away for a week, and let's see if she starts up. There's 2 hoses that come down. And they come off of here and they go into here. And I got the right kind of hose clamps for a high pressure system, and I don't know which is which. So it's either this way or it's the other way. Yep, he's got his treat. He lives for these. They're chicken strips. I've tasted one. Don't understand the fascination. George has got one too. She likes her chicken strips too. Not as much as Spike. Spike will get up and walk across the room. Georgia won't. Okay, I'm at an estate sale. It's a pretty ritzy place, 20 acres. They have their own freaking water tower. This is the parking for the estate sale. My car's way over there. There's a fruit garden. It's impressive. So we've got the pool, the main house, the parking lot, the water tower, 2 barns, another house, another 50 acres. So yeah, last week when I was grilling, I noticed my flame distribution was mostly here, not here, not here. So I took it apart and cleaned it, which means I got stuff everywhere. But reason it's here and only here is because the whole burner's rusted. It must have been aluminized steel. So we're gonna have to see if we can order parts. The outside's fine. It's American made. I bought it for $25. See, American made. So hopefully I can get parts for it. Yeah, when I got it, it wasn't assembled, and so there was a really weird problem. The handle didn't fit. Those are the holes it came with, so I just put in new holes. But it was very odd, and the igniter never worked. It was all in pieces. But everything else is there. It needs a good scrubbing, but yeah, the shell's good. So got this on the eBay, and gonna make a bench. So I'm gonna use some legs. Again, this is, make some legs. Then either this piece or this piece, I'm gonna drill some holes, and then stick the legs in the holes. So it's gonna be a bench for, when you put your boots on for our property down south. So never done this before. She wants to get away from you. She did not like hooking up. That is not the right drill. I have the right drill downstairs, but I'm too lazy to go get it. So it's kind of like a rabid squirrel. I don't know. It's pretty abusive, but it's working. So yeah, just realized that this is the distance. It should be 15 inches, and I think it's now 14. It may still be salvageable, but yeah, she's sharp. She might have only been $29 on the Evil Bay, but she's sharp. That looks pretty mean. This is nice to gauge the depth. I went all the way down. What the heck? Test piece. So I got it started. Let's see how it works. sill brackets for holding the log, but be a picnic table. So if you think I just used a clamp on my iPhone to make it hold, you'd be right. So let's see if this works. So. This doesn't hold. Oh well. Ow. So this guy has been sitting around here because this guy has been sitting there. I'm pretty sure they have Dante. That cat doesn't look like it messes around. He's staring at this cat. And this dog don't care. That's the soap opera, the cats today. Yep, that's what we're gonna be hunting. Little game today. Little game. I'm gonna use bait and gloves. Well, I think I'm getting a buzz from the fumes. It smells like pine needles and mineral spirits, but first coat's on. I think I'll do another coat in a couple weeks, but yeah, so now I'm gonna go outside with the ladder and do the perimeter piece underneath and get that done. But turns out it's a little too hot when I did the outside row, so it crystallized on the top instead of soaking in. Hopefully this will do that. It's 66 degrees out. It's in the sun, but can't really fix that easily. So yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to buy some more wood for the railing. Do that next week, but none of these are good enough. You can definitely see some fun defects, like that little board's a little crooked. They say 15% is gonna be bad, and I don't know what to think about that, because if they know it's gonna be bad, just call it out. Don't send me a board that's like that. What am I gonna do with it? So we did the right thing, and we made this, and we wrapped it in what I call hoarder's tape. Makes it look organized. It's still hoarding. Am I ever gonna use it? I don't know. Is it even worth using? Probably not. Should I just burn it? Perhaps. So I'm gonna do the right thing and put it in the basement where nobody will see it. So I just washed it. My ceramic waxed it the last time I washed it. But yeah, I'm down here and I'm noticing all this, which I don't recall seeing, but I didn't inspect every inch of the car. So we're gonna try and buff that out. I don't know what the hell it is. It looks like paint. It's very annoying. There you go, that's better. It's not supposed to have that. So yeah, we got several issues here. One, I got a lot of it off. I just lightly polished it. I didn't want to go too hard, but when I was gonna do my car, but somebody stole my hose. And I'm over here, I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here? So there's another one. So I'm not gonna do that. I guess I'm gonna do that. I gotta wash the car again. Really annoying though. Sometimes we play a game called What's the Cat Torturing Today? Jack! Jack! Turn the valve. Jack, leave it. Well, you can't tell because it's all green, but that's a pile that I cut out. So this morning I've been working outside, I've been cleaning out the jewelry. I don't know if that's what it's really called, but it's like these little guys right here. They come out of the ground really easily. And they have a like a hollow, easily bendable thing, but the problem is they invade everywhere, and then they prevent sunlight from getting to the things you want, and because they're so fast growing, any vines love to travel with them because they'll grow like, I think, like an inch in a day. So yeah, sometimes you can just like stand on them because the insides crunch. Trimmed off a few branches here. We had some branches fall off this tree, so I'm cutting those up for firewood. I think I need more freaking firewood. Took a few off of that. thing, so it's a little less goofy. And then I trimmed off of here, and I just kind of cleaned things up. Took some of the dead wood out of that branch. This branch down below had a lot of dead, and yeah, just kind of I like to be able to shoot right in here and kind of park in the shade with the old pickup truck. And I've been hitting branches and stuff, so that's why it's kind of wedge shaped. This isn't my yard, believe it or not. My yard starts right around here. So my property line is about 10 feet from the house. Now, that's against code, but I didn't build the house. They built it in 1899. Believe it or not, at one point, the property line was through the house. It was, I believe, right about here, about 4 feet right where that addition is. So I think it was in the teens, they bought this additional 15 feet from right about here on over. So, and this used to be up till 1970 the Hiram College gardens. It's 5 acres, which is why it doesn't have a lot of trees on it. Unfortunately, it's got a lot of ash trees, which of course are dead. There's a couple good trees in there. So I definitely got to feed the bird feeders. They like the suet. Feed that. They haven't been touching this much. I don't know why. Waiting for the rain to fill that up. This is where our effluent comes out. This would be another example of one of these goddamn things. Got to remember not to pull the ones with the devil looking things. Those are purposeful. So gotta cut through here. It's a jungle. But yeah, a bunch of this maple wood needs to be cut up, and that's a little too large for that. So I usually use the reciprocating saw because straining the chainsaw is a pain, and just don't need it. Oh, there's our singing cat. So Joe sanded the heck out of that, which turned out to be cedar, and she's putting cedar oil on it. She wants me to do something with this. After I'm done cutting this up, I'm gonna just cut the grass. It's very windy yesterday. This is a bucket. It's an old fire bucket. Because watch, all bashed at the bottom. So apparently, when people use this to put out fires, they would put a round bottom on there, and the round bottom was so that you wouldn't use it for anything else because it would just rotate. But if you grabbed it dry and filled up with water and threw it on a fire, it was a perfectly functional tool. So yeah, that's why it has a smashed bottom up there, and why it's also got red on it. There's somebody spray painted it, but it definitely had a roundabout. So yeah, completely useless trivia. So it's the first time I've had to reload this, and I tried winding it and pulling the ends out, putting it back on, couldn't get anywhere. I'm looking at it thinking, you know, there's got to be an easier way. Then I realized if you line this mark and this mark up, you can string the cable right through, and I think I can rotate it and just wind it up without any issue, because there's a top spool and a bottom spool, and it enters the top spool and comes out the bottom spool. So I think it's just gonna be extremely easy, which is rare because these are always such a clusterfuck. So I think I did a decent enough job. This is zinc with the torch. It would just melt. I tried soldering, the solder wouldn't stick. I tried aluminum welding. That's what I ended up doing, but just kind of globbing on there and then grinding out the excess. It didn't really like adhere, well, it adhered to it, but it didn't like fuse it, if that's the right word. But it doesn't have to be really strong. I do need to drill that hole out. That's brazing material. Yeah, a little fire on there. So next step is clean that hole out, grind that flat, then clean up on these, and then I'm gonna powder coat these. I know I have black powder coat. I was thinking of doing the black powder coat for these, and then maybe different color for these. So a couple years ago, this one piece broke, so I've been cleaning this out. I've got the drill bit, it's the same width. I took a piece of the decking from up there, black locust, and then I ripped it down in the saw, and then I used my router, a little baby router, a little M18, to round it over and sanded it and get rid of the scratch marks from the saw. This stuff burns really easily. My 5-year-old carbide blade doesn't work too well. So just trying to open that up so I can pop that in there. Already I can see I need to make it a little bit wider. Not sure why I guess it's the same size as the others. I don't know. Anyhow, this a little bit will work well. First I got to get that nail out of there, right down there. Enhance. There it is, right there. So, yeah. It's nice to be working on projects, not like, you know, framing a house and putting in windows and shit like that. Well, the burner was definitely shot. I mean, it was all rusted apart, even though it's stainless steel, and flames are just coming out here. So I got that out. I had to grind the bolt off of this and the nut. Bracket looks fine. So I transferred that bracket over to here, and this is the new one. And the new one, this is quite a debate, is seems as the old one, because apparently the replacement unit is smaller, and everybody hates it because you're only heating out to like here instead of here. And so I bought a third party, not the original Boilmaster one. It was about $10 more expensive, only because I found a really cheap place. We'll go ahead and put this on there. And those are adjustulators. I didn't know that. Huh, interesting. Well, I just got blinded by the light. Okay, she's all buttoned back together. You can see the new burning unit. It goes out to the edges here, so she's good to go. So I recycled these a while ago. They're now being repurposed as a radiator support because there is no radiator support. There's remnants, but there's nothing there. So she was quoted $800 to fix this. I actually donated the radiator zip ties. This is just a backup. This is redundant.
Are you using me to be famous, Dad?
I'm gonna have to get a better studio here. We got a lot of back talk in the studio.